guys, it's Sarah, and today I have for you my October wrap-up. It is indeed November 8th. I went and voted before filming this video. Hashtag I'm with her. By the time I upload this video, we'll know who the President of the United States is. That's a really scary thought. Anyway, let's not talk politics, even though, please God, let Hillary be president. I didn't read that much in October, and now I'm a little late doing this wrap-up, but you know, that's my life, to be honest. If you can relate, let me know. I only read 2 books in October, not very impressive. One book I hated, one book I really liked. Yeah, let's just get into it. So the first book I'm going to talk about is the one that I hated. I read Harry Potter and the Cursed Child by Jack Thorne because my book club, the Lonely Genres Book Club, was reading it and we had a live show at the beginning of October. I'll link that down below if you want to hear some really in-depth, hateful thoughts about that book. I gave this book 1 star because, in my opinion, it was complete and utter trash. I don't really want to consider this book canon or consider it the 8th book of the Harry Potter series. It's very obvious to me that this was not written by J.K. Rowling. There were a lot of scenes and things and concepts that I just couldn't wrap my mind around. I don't even really want to describe the plot. It's basically just about some really unconventional time travel that doesn't make any sense. Like I said, if you want to hear more in-depth thoughts, you can watch the live show, but I really didn't like that book. I really can't even believe that J.K. Rowling put a seal of approval on that. It literally just read like fan fiction, and I feel like there was a lot of queerbaiting and just things that made me upset about that, and Albus was just a whiny little punk, and honestly, I can't keep talking about this book because it just makes me angry. And the last book I finished, not really read completely because I had started it in September, was Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. This was the last book of Rainbow Rowell's that I had not read. I know there are a lot of mixed feelings surrounding this novel because in a lot of ways it's sort of a parody of Harry Potter. When you start reading it, you really do get the Harry Potter vibes in the sense of like Hogwarts, and you kind of compare some of the characters. But overall, they're actually all very different and diverse in this book. And as you keep reading, the similarities keep getting less and less to the point where like I don't think they're the same thing anymore. For example, I think the magic system in this book is very different than the Harry Potter series. It's all based on words and phrases, and like the more people use certain words or sentences, the more powerful they become. And I found that really interesting as a reader because, you know, I love words. As far as characters in this book go, I definitely have to say that Baz was my favorite character. He was the perfect amount of snarky and broody and emotional and level-headed and like smart, and I just loved him, and he was so sarcastic and he was just perfect. I really didn't enjoy Simon's character very much. He was very dense and made a lot of questionable decisions and just kind of seemed like a dud to me, but I feel like that was supposed to be his purpose because he was supposed to be like a chosen one, but then he was supposed to be like unremarkable, so it didn't really make sense for him to be a chosen one, so I get it. And I felt similarly about Agatha. I kind of feel like she came across as like a wet blanket, but again, she was supposed to be going against like a lot of the tropes and like the chosen one stories, like she's not a prize for anyone, she wants to make her own choices, all of that. But I did really enjoy Penelope. I thought she made a perfect sidekick, and she was kind of like the Hermione character of the book. So overall, I really liked this book because I thought it accomplished what it set out to do, which was kind of to go against all the tropes of the chosen one story. But I'd have to say that as a fantasy novel, it didn't really stand up. Like I really enjoyed the world, and I didn't even think the world building was particularly bad. Like I really liked the world of mages, but I felt like towards the end the plotting was not great. Like obviously I'm used to reading like epic fantasies that have really intricate plots. I didn't particularly have a problem with the plot in this book. I liked it and I thought it resolved itself fairly well, but I felt like towards the end it was really rushed because Rainbow Rowell's books tend to be more character driven, and I think in a fantasy setting that didn't work as much. Like I remember thinking like, when are we going to get to the plot? Like it takes over 100 pages for Baz to even show up, which I didn't hate because I got to know all the other characters, but then I also just thought it was lacking on scenes between Simon and Baz. Like I was really looking for like an epic romance between these boys, and I didn't really get that. I wanted more scenes between them. To be honest, I wanted them to make out more. I did. And then as far as like the fantasy elements and like working out the prophecy and being the chosen one, like I said, I just thought it was really rushed, and I don't have an issue with what happened happens. I just wish that she had spent more time writing those scenes. Like, I feel like everything happened in the last 100 pages, and I really feel like that should have been more of the book. And there were a lot of questions I still have about Simon and his past, and sort of some of the things that happen and some of the characters. I have a lot of unanswered questions, and I don't really know if Rainbow Rowell intends on writing another book. I know she's mentioned it before on Twitter and in interviews that she would like to, but I definitely feel like there's more room to explore this world and explore these characters, because like I said, I just feel like there was a lot of loose threads at the end. But that is also a very Rainbow Rowell way to end a book, which is kind of like not answering your questions. But yeah, so overall I gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. I just felt like with the plot and the way I was left unsatisfied, I couldn't give it a full 5 stars. But the writing style is great. It's still a Rainbow Rowell book. I really do recommend it. I liked it. That's pretty much it for my October wrap up. I'm sorry I didn't have a September wrap up. I didn't finish any of the things that I was reading, and I did read more things in October, but again, I didn't finish them. And you know, it's just an endless cycle. I'm hoping that I get a lot more reading done in November and December. Who knows? But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you all so much for watching. You're all beautiful. Have a nice day.
Always talking